Good day. I'm Dexter Valles of Valma International, Mumbai, India. Are you at the steering wheel of your life, driving yourself to success and fame, and other people nuts? Well, the reason I'm talking to you today about this is because I have just spoken about being at the steering wheel of life. And when you're at the steering wheel of life, perhaps sometimes you don't get to live your life because you're so focused at the steering wheel trying to get where you want to go that very often, although you're looking through your windscreen, you probably are not noticing and registering what's happening along the way. While we have a radar that guides us through the traffic of life, and all the chaos that's on the roads of life, and all the hurdles that we come across, we somehow seem to get past them. And perhaps, hopefully, towards the destination we are headed for, which is success, fame, prosperity, anything that you want in the long term for your life to be defined by. But how much do you know about the journey? And sometimes that journey is just a vague memory, while perhaps the journey is the most important part of your life. So we end up at the end of the journey with a vague recollection of what happened at the journey, on the journey, what the journey was all about, and when we reach the destination, we don't have time for it because now that it's achieved, we have the next destination, the next stop in mind. The future is always ahead of us. We never catch up with it. But what about the present? Is it always the past? So how do we live in the present? And I spoke about taking your hands off the wheel and letting go of that steering wheel on which you have a death-like grip, holding it like a vice, never letting it go. And perhaps you're clutching it so tightly that when you really need to loosen your grip and move the wheel around, perhaps you can't, because you're locked in. So how do we get beyond the steering wheel, beyond the trap of the steering wheel? How do we let go? How safe do you feel letting go? What are the issues that come with letting go? How do you allow yourself to live in the present moment when you're not behind the wheel of your car? As I've said earlier, when I'm not driving and I'm being driven, I tend to notice a whole lot of things around me that I didn't even know were there. And I'm looking at them for the first time as if I have seen them for the first time, and it is, but I haven't. I actually have seen them many, many times, repetitiously, every day, but I've not noticed them. They've not registered over here. It has not made a difference to my life, even in a small way, because they were there, because I was so focused on getting to where I wanted to go that nothing on the journey really meant anything at all to me. Is that the same with you? Are you so preoccupied with where you want to go that you don't know how you're getting there, what's on the way, and what can you do to enjoy the journey? Or as we like to call it, the process. So sometimes the result is not as important as the process. Not just sometimes, all the time. The result is important, yes, but the process is critical, it's vital. So how do you feel safe in managing the process, knowing that the process is going to lead to the result or as close to the result as possible? Are we so fixated with the result that the process doesn't matter at all? We assume that there will be a process and the process will take us there. Is there a fear that if we let go of our vision, let go of our roadmap, let go of that steering wheel, that we will end up somewhere far away from where we wanted to go, and we fear that therefore everything would have been a waste of time? So that fear is very real. Trying to live in the moment sometimes is so threatening that we wish we didn't have to. What could be some of the issues that we are talking about when we don't live in the moment, when we are supposedly at the steering wheel of our life? Let's look at it in everyday work maybe. When you are at the steering wheel of your life and let's say you are leading a team and you attend a team meeting, guess what's happening? As a team leader, you want the team to go where you want it to go. And the moment you notice that the team discussions or team behavior is not really the way you'd like it to be, perhaps you jump in immediately. You stop everything and say, hey, no, that's not the way it should be. Not that's not the way it should be, but that's not the way I want it to be. And then you take over because you're at the control, you're driving the car, everyone else is in it, it's your car, or at least you think so. And you start driving forward in a direction that you know or think you know is right. It doesn't really matter what the team thinks at that point of time. So guess what happens? You come up with a decision that is supposedly belonging to the team, but only you own it. And at the same time, you expect your team to deliver it. Chances are that out of either fear or respect or because they don't want to have an argument, they agree to it. Perhaps there is some sense in what you are saying. Perhaps there's a good sense of direction. Perhaps the results are probably pretty much guaranteed. But maybe they don't agree with the process. Because the process may not be something that they can identify with. It probably doesn't attach itself to their value system, to their way of wanting to do things done. It's not about what gets done, but how it gets done. And that's the process. That's the moment. So what if you were to attend a meeting and you are not at the steering wheel of life and trying to live in the moment? What would that feel like? It would probably be sitting there and listening, keeping all your agendas aside, telling yourself that there is nothing more important at this moment than being present at that meeting and listening to the ideas and options coming forth from your team. And if that was the case and you drop all agendas, you are actually taking your hands off your steering wheel and living in the moment. Because in that moment, a lot of wonderful things are happening. There is energy in the room. There is joy. There are energized people. And there are options that are emerging. More than the options that you could have had when you were at the steering wheel of your own car. So what happens when you have all these options? Well, now that they are on the table, they can be examined. So when do you take back control of your car? Put your hands back on the steering wheel? Well, not yet. Let it play its course. See what else can happen. Be a facilitator, don't be a backseat driver. Maybe you want to check whether the team is going in the direction that they wanted to by simply asking, are you getting where you wanted to? Are you getting the choices you wish to have? Can I be of help in any way? Rather than saying, hey, you know what, I think we should have taken that road. Right? Or saying, maybe I could help you navigate. Is there a map around? Would you want to share your vision with me? Would you want to tell me what you have in mind? And I can prompt you along the way if you wish, or I can just sit back and listen and enjoy the moment. So that's living in the moment when you are listening in to your people, absorbing what they're saying, letting them know that you are there, not just as witness, but also as somebody who appreciates what's going on and is picking up the signals that they are giving. Listening in for the how, the why, and of course the what. When people feel that they are acknowledged, they respond much better. So when you are in your moment, you get them in their moment, and everybody lives in the present moment. Of course, you can then go back to your steering wheel to take things forward, because then everybody is back at their own steering wheels. Now the thing is, how about it being a bus? If we are in a team, it's not just my car, it's a bus or a plane, depending on how you zoom off, take off, or what are you doing, how expert you are all in managing the machine that you are taking towards your destination. That machine is you and everybody and all your dreams and everything that you want to happen and make happen. So, how good are other people to come and take turns at the wheel? Have you trained people? Have you groomed people? Have you let them grow? Are they only listening for your directions and instructions? Can they do things only with your permission? When they do things without your permission, do you frown on it? Do you pick fault with it? Do you find and admonish them because the things that you see are not the things that you would do? Do you want people to be clones of you? Because that means I'm at my steering wheel and I'm holding you hostage in my car, and while you're in my car, don't talk, don't disturb me, don't distract me, don't play music, don't chit chat. Be as focused as I am on where I am going. Hardly the way to live life. Now, what if you did that at home? Maybe you are doing that at home. Maybe you are deciding things for everybody. Maybe you are deciding when to have a holiday, where to go for the holiday. Or worse, maybe you're deciding the future of other people. You're taking other people's steering wheel and saying, that's mine. It's mine to steer. Your life is mine. So maybe you've decided already what is the kind of education your kids need, what stream of specialization they should be going. Maybe you're not listening to what they want. Maybe you're not listening to your spouse or partner on what they want. So maybe if you could live in the moment and allow yourself to listen in to the moment, to be available, not to be just witness, but to be a participant in the moment, you will find that everybody else will join these moments together, their moments, your moments, and you have this wonderful moment map appearing in which you can navigate your way around to the different options and destinations that there are in the map. Of course, you need to thread it together to where you would like everybody to go to, but then that depends on how you can influence people rather than command them. So when you want to enlist other people into your bus, your plane, your car, you must also know that you need to groom them to be able to drive that car, to fly that plane, to commandeer that bus themselves, taking turns at the wheel. Are you willing to run that risk? So, my friends, thank you very much for listening in. I hope this puts a little bee in your bonnet about being at the steering wheel of life and how you can take your hands off the wheel and live your life in the moment by doing things in the moment that will certainly go towards creating the future that you want to go to. See you around the next time. Thanks for listening in. It's a great pleasure. Tune in to us again whenever you see a note pop up on your screen. Otherwise, if you want to know what we are doing, we are at www.valmainternational.com, and we are also on Facebook and LinkedIn. Send in a note, send a query, or even come across and meet us if you're in Mumbai. We'd be happy to have coffee and conversations together. Bye for now.